To learn a little bit more about the Storage Developer Conference, I'm meeting with some of the folks who are supporting the event, who are part of the organization of the event. And so I'm here with Wayne Adams. He is a senior technologist in the office of the CTO at EMC. And I wanted to know a little bit more about why you think that this is a valuable conference for companies like EMC to be involved in.
It's a very important conference for EMC because we have many different product lines, and products have to interoperate with other offerings in the market. To be in the enterprise space, you got to have robust offerings that are engineered with the latest features and are rock solid. And so by taking your engineers and architects to this conference to get this in-depth technical knowledge from those that either defined a technical specification or built the tools for the specification, you then can learn what is the best method to go forward with an implementation, or tips and tricks of how to correct an implementation. And by getting a mix of different participants from industry, in EMC's peers and colleagues from industry in the same sessions, you end up raising all the boats together so that the real beneficiary out of this is the end user, because they're getting robust interoperable solutions, and then each vendor's going to differentiate on the feature sets. But when you get into like SMB protocols, or what's the latest things that are going on with fiber channel and 16 gig, and or is the industry still working on 4, and how should you align your roadmaps and your timing, you get all this in-depth information of roadmaps, tools, open source tools that are available to the market, plus practical experience that's there.
Yeah, the most remarkable thing to me was to witness the amazing spectacle of storage developers from pretty much every enterprise storage company sitting down and talking tech, talking protocols, talking storage technology. You don't get a chance to do that enough in this industry, and you're right. It's absolutely vitally important that a company like EMC interoperate with the other companies in the storage space. You know?
Yeah, going to a public conference, it's efficient. EMC typically sends anywhere from 15 to 25 people on average. We cover a variety of spaces, from our file systems, our cloud offerings, people that focus in on the networking protocols. And then there's new breaking topics that the industry is working to define at a technical level, not at the buzzword level. Like you take software-defined storage, where that was a year and a half ago, and how that's evolving into a more technically understood set of feature sets that people in industry can reference. But when you get some of this discussion that goes on in the sessions, as well as a feature of this conference is birds of a feather sessions in the evenings, where anyone that's an attendee can mark up on the board, I want to hold a birds of a feather session on, you pick their topic. It could be something on interoperability, or something that's not right, or it could be on what's on horizon for cloud computing. What's next? Do we all have to do OpenStack, or is there something else?
Yeah, and that's the sort of thing I think that really benefits the industry, because these people feel more comfortable with each other. They know each other. They know who else is working on the same things they're working on, and it helps us all. One of the things that really excites me too is the SMB protocol. Microsoft is doing their SMB Plugfest as part of this as well, and that's very important to EMC, because you guys are right there working in that space.
Yeah, we go way back to the 90s, working with when it was called SIFs, and we've been there at every Plugfest since. And typically there's like anywhere around between 20 to 30 companies, up to 100 representatives from those companies, and everyone's bringing in their equipment, and it's under a non-disclosure environment. And you can solve a lot of work there pretty fast in the course of a week than what you'd have to do back on the home front.
That's what I've heard from the Microsoft folks as well. It's vitally important to try these things out and to see if they work together. And especially for network storage protocols like SMB, NFS, you guys are right there in the midst of all that. What advice would you give to a company that's trying to decide whether they should send people to this event, and who they should send?
If you're working in the area of storage, you should be there. Who you send there is typically, for the Plugfest, are your developers. Who is your lead developer that's had the right to code, and who can recompile code on the fly during the day, during the night, during the next day.
As they discover things,
For the sessions, you want to send architects, CTOs of product lines, product managers that have to look at the roadmap of what's the feature and the timing for the industry, how's the uptake and adoption.
Non-developers sometimes go too, you know, and so people like me, I mean, I can't compile code, but you know, it's really a very, very valuable event for me to learn about you know, what's going on in the industry. So. Well, I look forward to seeing you at the Storage Developer Conference, and I look forward to seeing folks watching this video at the Storage Developer Conference as well. If you love storage like we do, it's a great opportunity for you to learn more about what's happening and to meet people who share your enthusiasm for storage.